Hello, my name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in the Netherlands, which is in Europe. I actually live in Amsterdam. It's really close by, actually. It's a short train ride out. And welcome to my channel. I do football videos every Monday and Friday because the day before we have practice. And much like this is a Friday video, I will have practice tonight. For Monday videos, I have practice during the middle of the day because it's a Sunday, so that makes sense. So that's how pretty much I do vlog every other week, and I do a live stream on Saturday nights. Because we have practice earlier in the morning to get out there, I do not live stream very long, about 3 hours. And for the Pacific coast of the States, that is about 9 in the morning till noon. So from the East Coast, that's noon to 3 on Saturday. I understand a lot of you have games during that time, but if you want to hit up maybe before a game or something, or share highlights, go ahead. You can also comment below if you guys have highlights from Huddle or something. People have shared their highlights before in the comments, and I will look them up and we will browse them over video if I get a lot of them. So yes, I do play Euroball. Like I said, it's in the Netherlands. The league is called AFBN. That is American Football Bond Nederland. It's American Football Clubs Netherlands. So yeah, this is a Panthers jersey. This is a fan custom Panthers jersey with my number. I wear 44, and my team colors are blue and yellow. This intro gets different every single time because I don't have it down on a script. It just flies out of my head, and some days I'm just on a little too much coffee. So the function of these videos, as you can see in the chapters below, they are intro, comments, news and announcements if I have any, as we're coming up into a game season, game vlogs starting in October time, and then practice. And if there's an after practice, like if I record during practice and then after practice, those will be split up also. So I try not to record because I am actually on the field, but sometimes, like tonight's going to be fairly okay. I could probably set up the camera and record idly, or I'm just way too busy doing everything at practice. We have had the camera discussion before in the comments and on my live streams about like a GoPro. It's getting one of the cameras that is actually super small outside the States is ridiculously expensive. There is a camera that's pretty small. I did see another football YouTuber wearing one, but he also brought it with him from the States, so it was a lot easier to get a hold of. Okay, moving on with comments. These are going to be football related comments on all of my videos, but they typically show up on the football related videos. Do not mind my hair. I need to get it cut, and I don't have any styling stuff in it because I haven't put anything in it because I'm going to practice tonight. There's no point in having gel in your hair when you're going to be having in a football helmet for a couple hours. Okay, so a week ago, going back, Joseph Wilkerson Jr. says he has the Alpha Series cleats. That's really cool. I've seen those around. Some of our linemen have had those in the past, so I hear they're really good. They're kind of hard to get a hold of, but Forella does have occasionally a couple of those types. Okay, so a user by the name of Sonic the Hedgehog says, I really want to play football, but I don't know if it's a hard or easy sport. I worry about people that ask a question very similar to that one because you're already asking, you're looking for an easy sport. If it's a hard sport, you don't want to do it. And they're all hard to an extent. Some are more mental, like, you know, golf and tennis. You got to make sure that you do a lot of the calculation. Well, maybe not so much tennis, but with golf, you got to make sure that you get the right club. You got to get the right thing. It's not so physically demanding, such as like football or soccer or ice hockey. But there's a trade-off with everything. I mean, what's easier when you're doing a medley or a relay? You know, medley relay in swimming is what I was a part of with my swim team back in like middle school. I did breaststroke, and other people did the forward crawl. One person did the butterfly, and the other person did the backstroke. We had 4 people, and each of us specialized in that thing. That was fine. Who had the easier job? Breaststroke and butterfly have some incredible, you know, form issues, but like, it's really tiring doing the front crawl and anyways, it's just interesting to do that. So it's like, no real sport is easy, but no real sport is hard. They're just levels of difficulty in certain directions. Let's see if I can flip that over there. Oh, well, that looks square as hell. He also commented on what I called the Snake Pit weekend because I was dumb. And it was on May 22nd, 2017, and it was the Cobras versus the Vipers back in Portland when I lived back in the States. Amazing game. He also asked, he's been thinking about joining football, any advice? I gave him advice in the comments, and it's basically what I give here. Don't think of it as work. Think of it as having fun. That's what they tell here. Like, you're not working for a sport necessarily. You're having fun playing a sport. And you do have to train for that one, but it's much like training on a video game. You don't immediately jump into mythic rating in World of Warcraft. You go through leveling your character, and then you go through the dungeons to figure out how, and then you start going through the harder quests, and then maybe you do like 2-person stuff, and then you do 5-person, 3-person, 5-person. You can work your way up, and if you're talented, is what they call it, you can advance faster, but to get up to that point. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who's untalented can't get up there either. That just depends. Maybe you're talented in football, maybe you're not. But that doesn't mean you can't reach a certain point. I mean, I play in the top level of the Netherlands. So, and I started out in semi-pro at the age of 32. He also says, I hope my shoulder gets better. I have a funny story about that one. We'll talk about that in the announcements. Get ready to get a smile on your face, because how much more middle linebacker can you get than what happened to me? Someone asked, what exact shut shoulder pads were they? Currently a teammate has those. They were Shut Flex 4.0. In the video right there, I listed them off in there, but it was because I was comparing with similar uniforms from the Cobras, my Zenith adult mediums, my Zenith element hybrids, to my old Shut 4.0 Flex, Varsity 4.0 Flex skill pads, adult small. And so I was putting myself side by side, saying, doing the same thing and saying this is what the movement was. It was just a compare contrast video, and it was really nice. Football uniform suit up, Olivia Basurto, love, thank you. Like Jorge Solis on dark at practice. That is, side note, that is a problem we are having. Our football field is not completely done yet, so the municipality, the Parks and Rec department has been working on it and fixing it from some damage that happened during when we weren't playing on it. Anyway, so they wanted to fix it, but they delayed, bureaucracy. But anyway, so we're not playing on our field, so we're in the back of the baseball field, and it gets dark. Dark by like 9, and our practice starts at 8. So if I record anything, it's probably going to be later, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to record because we do not have any lights past like 9. We do kind of go over to a small section so we can work off some of the baseball lights, but we can't throw in that area. So anything that involves team is out on the baseball field with no lights. He says you need better receivers. One of my teammates actually commented on that one. I was like, do you want to come here and show them up? Because, anybody can sit behind a computer and say, oh, you're telling me, you got the armchair quarterbacks all the time. How many guys with a big old beer belly are sitting in a lazy boy recliner saying, oh yeah, well, Peyton Manning, blah, 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 blah. Girls, shut it down. Thomas, in the comments, he also said it was really super dark. Yes, this camera is actually really good at getting ambient light. That's why my blinds are closed, because the sun is out right now really bright because we've had a mild heat wave. And the skate park was cleaned this morning, so it is super concrete white right now, and you can see that I would be horribly backlit because this thing's really good at low light. But even then, the camera was having problems because I was dealing with the softball field lights shining over the clubhouse coming into our field. We had no real direct light. Yeah, so it was really awkward. But the camera was seeing that. The receivers were seeing about half that. Unless we had a glowing ball, it wouldn't have worked much better. Mark Solis on my football suit up. Says, is that a bucket helmet? I'm like, no, it's a Shut. Oh God, my hair. Monica Simpson, most likely a kid using their parents' thing. I get a lot of that actually, and I just sort of breeze over it. Or if I say somebody commented, it's because I realize they're using probably a mom's account to browse videos. Anyways, my man putting on his stuff faster than me. It takes me 34 minutes just to put on my compression stuff because it gets stuck. To be fair, that video was super long. The suit video, because I was teaching how to do stuff. It wasn't just me throwing my gear on. I can do it in about 3 minutes. 2 minutes top. Like, I should probably do a video to see if I can get it on, even in the TikTok time. Going from like pure, just get like tights and compression on and just film myself and try to see if I can get it on in like 3 minutes. Have it all prepped and ready, but all that jazz, even cleats and everything. See how long it takes me to go from basically undressed to field ready. Dream, who comes into my live stream. She talks a lot, and I really like actually talking with her. She's really cool. She came in on a video that says "Quick Jaunt Around Amstel," which is the river in Amsterdam. So it was just a normal vlog of the week. Big Tank 213 with how many layers he's putting on that has to get hot during summer games. Well, considering that was filmed in January. Yeah, and our practices were at 9 in the morning, and we had games sometimes at like March in the Pacific Northwest, in Oregon, where like our evening temperatures would still be like barely up to 50. Like our daytime temperatures were 52, and then we'd have a game at 7 o'clock at night in the pouring rain. So yes, if we had summer games, and some of the games did move into that one, but that's the stuff I did not wear during the summer games when we moved. Like for now, our games will be here at the beginning of October. I'm probably gonna be very lightly dressed. By the time we have a game on November 23rd, I'm gonna be pretty thickly dressed. And then again, with February, March, and April games, I'm probably going to be thick dressed because it's kind of chilly around here. But then May and June, I'll probably go back to thin dressed again. So that's just generally that. It's cold. You dress for the weather, and that's typically what I wore. I could show you guys what my winter wear and my summer wear is, but that gets into an Addams Family joke. Frederick Carter commented on my football pronouns video. This is not a dig at anybody in my fellow Alphabet Mafia. This is just, it's a short I did on TikTok. My pronouns are he, not him, because I'll never be him. That's a general thing on TikTok. And then I showed a picture of Luke Kuechly. He says, I'm going to miss him play. Yes, we all are. But I'm certainly glad he made it out sane. He gave a lot, and he was at that critical point that if he'd have kept going, he could have lost more and been a detriment to the team. Could be. I don't know. That's a different future that the TVA pruned. Last Sunday, when I recorded my Monday video, practice was abruptly canceled because it talks about it in that video. Someone says, my football practice was canceled due to somebody getting COVID. Well, that sucks. Some people come in and out of our practices. They're like, oh, I can't make it this week. I'm under quarantine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fine. And that's just the world we live in. Mine wasn't canceled because of COVID or anything. In fact, I'm going to practice tonight. It's, he says, hopefully with this COVID stuff, it'll go away. And I'm like, where are you at that COVID's still affecting your practices? Most of Europe is well back up and running for sports. Dylan Jessup asks, quick question, how do you join these leagues? This is where I'm going to talk about this one. This is going to be a bit more in depth. I probably should have made an announcement for this one. But I do have a video, link up here, to the difference between semi-pro and club sports. They're similar, but they're different. So I'll have a link up here. It's semi-pro versus club sports here. They're basically the same thing, but not quite. I don't know where he was necessarily referencing. How do I join these leagues? If it was semi-pro in the States, then you have one around your city, most likely. You may have to drive, but cars are a big deal in the States. So, like, I lived in Beaverton. There was no team in Beaverton. There was a couple teams in Portland, but I had to go into Portland for that one. But there was also one further west, and it was like a 20-minute drive going west. And that was the Portland Pit Bulls, but then they named to the Washington County Pit Bulls, just to break up the name a little bit. I did drive an hour to get to practice for the Cowlitz Cobras, and I thought about joining a team down in Eugene, but yeah, that was a 2-hour drive, and was not willing to do that one. So yeah, that one didn't happen. I did go to a practice of theirs though. But anyways. So now if we're talking about, say, joining a European league, as one who lives here, the third one to this, there is most countries in Europe, like I know Ireland has a league, UK has a league, some Scottish teams also, the UK, England, Scotland, I think there's a Welsh team. They may have more university teams in there. They function on a slightly different system. France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, every country but like Liechtenstein and Luxembourg have a league. So if you're there, I'm not sure how many of the African countries, well, I know Australia has them, China, Japan, maybe India. I haven't really seen too terribly much about that one. I know Egypt, Turkey, all that stuff. They all have teams, so you can find them around you, but think you're probably, if you're looking for European, then I live in the Netherlands, which is like 41,000 square kilometers or something like that, which sounds like a big number, but according to the United States kilometers, well, that's actually half the size of South Carolina. And we have 8 teams in the first league, and then 8 teams in the second league, and some of these teams in the second league are actually combi teams. So, like I know that the Eindhoven Raptors, the Tilburg Wolves, and the Spijkenisse Scouts all come together and form the Predators. And the Alphen Eagles and the Nijmegen Pirates are coming together to form the Parrots, because the Dutch love puns. So there's a total of 5 teams that are now making up 2 teams for the first. So if you look at 8 and 8, and then there's lingering teams around, that's like 20 teams, maybe more, in the Netherlands. Plus there's all the flag stuff. But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with that. Again, you've got 20 teams in some place half the size of South Carolina. You should be able to get to some place, and Germany has way more teams than that. Belgium has roughly the same amount of teams, but they're also a smaller country. But you've got teams all over the place in Europe. Now, for the third option, you're an American that wants to come here. You have a couple options. One, if you got college experience, whether you are JUCO to D1, if you have recent college experience and film, apply through Europlayers. There's a link below to get you to that website. It's in my big link section if you want to play football professionally, blah, blah, blah. You can sign up on that. The account is free, but you have to read through the stipulations of what qualifies for a free account. That link down there will actually allow you to sign up. And if you pay to sign up for it, then you can have just unlimited free reign of their website. And you can search for teams there, looking for your stuff, create a profile, put your stuff on there, put your picture and your videos on there, and you can find a team that's looking for you. If you don't have college experience, it's a little awkward, because without college experience, it's sort of like, what do? You can have a bunch of semi-pro experience, recent, but like, let's say you played college football 3 years ago, but then you graduated and you've been playing semi-pro ever since. You can probably use the current stuff, but do state that you have gone to college football and you have film from that to say that you actually played, sort of. I know some quarterbacks that were like backup quarterbacks that have come to Europe to play at like UCLA. So, yeah. Anyways, so there's that. If you don't have college experience, like me, I didn't start till I was 32, you can just move here. Like, my husband is over here on a work visa, so we're married. He's, on his knowledge migrant visa, and I'm here, and I do YouTube and play American football through Hilversum. That's how that happened. I was playing semi-pro in the States. He got a promotion, moved. Now I'm playing here. So, but going to the team, having to earn my position is still something I had to very validly do. I just, was doing it with most people speaking Dutch around me, rather than whatever language they were speaking in Portland. So, announcements. Something going on tonight at practice. We're going to be doing some special team stuff, so I might set up the camera just to record that one, but maybe not. I'm not sure if they're going to have me involved in the special team stuff. Probably. More people are showing up now that they know that the games are coming in less than a month. So that's that. Again, October 3rd, here's the schedule. October 3rd is the actual first game, so October 4th in the morning will be when the video is live over in the United States. So if you're looking for some interesting stuff, you can watch a game day vlog from that. And that will be somewhere here in Amsterdam. I do not know where the Panthers will be holding their game. As soon as I find out, I will discuss that one. And it's going to be fun because I will be able to get home fairly easily because it's in Amsterdam. Anyways, Second announcement is my shoulder. How is that working out? So there was a video that I did of a practice. One of my Monday videos says practice hits a little harder when you go harder. Partially dislocated my shoulder. Didn't realize it. Never really actually dislocated my shoulder at any time. But I was getting good coaching with good stuff, and I was, starting to actually engage in stuff, and our linemen were getting better at pushing in certain areas, and this slightly dislocated my shoulder. So I went to physio 2 days later, and that one, daily vlogs kind of did that one, and the guy's like, okay, well, wait for the pain to go away, then you can start with some, these sort of exercises, that sort of stuff, and then pull it forward, keep your hand, do that stuff. You see those people doing it at the gym, they most likely had a shoulder injury of sorts. So that's what's going on with that. Thursday, I didn't do anything at practice and filmed a lot. So you guys got to see a lot of stuff. That's where that video came from, where the guy's like, you need better receivers. I was like, we need receivers that can see the ball in that level of darkness. That was from a comment. I wasn't doing anything at practice that video because it was 2 days after physio and 4 days after dislocating my shoulder. We didn't realize that it was dislocated until I woke up Friday morning and I rolled over to wake Aaron up because I came home excited and was talking to him and interrupted his sleep, so he was starting to sleep in. So I rolled over and went, Aaron! And I heard. So Sunday, this is pain levels. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is why I'm saying I slightly knocked it out of joint. Because it was like pushed out, but then probably back in a little bit. Because I was still moving it. But there was something screwed up because it was still causing a lot of pain. And then Friday morning, I popped it back into joint. Or popped it out and popped it back in the right way. I don't know. I didn't get an x-ray, I didn't get a MRI or anything about that. This morning actually I felt another big ol' pop. And now everything feels super great. I'll be taking my pads and stuff to practice. They're right there. Okay, another announcement. The NFL is starting back up, so I'll probably be chit-chatting about random games that I'm watching. I didn't watch the preseason games because, one, it's hard to watch solely just on the phone with the NFL Game Pass International app, and then I have to pipe to the television, the phone. It's awkward, so I usually try to pick and choose which game I want after the fact. My thing doesn't notify me of any scores. But usually they're like, hey, there was a Panthers game that played. And I'm like, cool, I'll watch it. So I may be idly talking about that during some of my midday vlogs. If there's anything big that happens, I'll probably bring it up on here. But usually that doesn't happen. Other things, like I said, our season here in the Netherlands is starting up. That will go from beginning of October till the beginning of July. As you saw by that schedule, we have playoffs and the Tulip Bowl scheduled for July. So if I take a break from football videos, it'll most likely be after July. Probably not December. December's going to be very cold. I'm not going outside much, and I'll probably do some whiteboard stuff, like explaining some special teams. Anyways, so that's that. Shoulders way back to normal, way better. The schedule has been posted. That's the official schedule. And then finally for news, one of my friends in Germany who was going to play for the Stuttgart Scorpions, but then there was some dramas that happened with that team as the Stuttgart Surge was starting up, the ELF team for that one. So he went to that team, and he was just sort of sideline guy because he'd never played before and wanted to be a kicker. He had a muscular disease or something. He has a condition, is what he keeps saying. So he was going to be a kicker, but he probably didn't realize that he knew what a kicker was, and so he kept playing and he kept doing stuff with the Stuttgart Scorpions, but then moved to the Surge, which was the professional team of American football on the ELF. He got in at the most recent game this last weekend. There's a picture of him warming up his legs on the bike because they were going to have him kick a PAT. So yeah, he had never played football before and was able to do that one. You guys can say what you want about that one, but dreams come alive here in Europe for American football. So if you want to come over here for university and then play on a football team while you're doing university stuff, cool. We got a bunch of guys here that go to Utrecht University for various things, and they carpool out to Hilversum, or they play for Utrecht Dominators, or something like that. Various things. Groningen has a whole hell of a lot of university students because Groningen has a really big university also. Tilburg, various things. So that's that. I will chat with you guys out in Hilversum. We will figure everything else out there. Remember, it's going to be really dark, so there's probably just going to be a lot of talking.
Wow. Inside hands. Relax nou. Het doet toch prima hoor. Kom even lopen, man. Let's go, Matthijs. Hurry up. Chop, chop, chop. Ja, precies. Yeah, you can run that deeper. Nice catch. So what you want is basically you run like more in, out, out. Yeah, so you're attacking the inside. Okay, pin!
Onder de plak, jongen!
You have a ball there. Don't wait for the other ball. Dagger. No, it's not skinny calls.
Twee eye-guys, dus alles is twee. Alles twee. Twee eyes, twee packs, twee hips, twee gunners, twee safeties, één safety is een hip guy. We hebben een backside kicker. Oké, let's go.
Ready. 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 Go.
Lane. Guys, stop, blijf staan. What are you?
Ready. Let's go.
Stop. Stop. Nice, boys.
Oh, hello. It's super dark. I don't even know what time it is. I've been chatting with everyone. You guys got to see whatever I got to chop up from indies with the receivers, because we had Bill here and Patrick, so we were doing a lot of O-line stuff. By the time the kickoff stuff started, I don't think there was enough light. Again, I just put up the camera and I walked away for like however long that was. So I'm gonna go hang out, chat, and then I'm gonna head home. Sorry, it's just getting super dark. Like by the time kickoff started, I could barely count the people on the field. But then after that, we did some Oklahomas and wrecked that. But the shoulder acted up, and I talked to Cheyenne. She said, no, if you already popped it out of joint once and it's starting to feel wonky, you don't want to continuously pop it out, or the joint will only ever do that. If you know what I mean. So it was stressed, so I stopped. But I got through all of the indies and a bunch of swim moves off the dummies, but that's kind of what was doing it, is excessive pressure and motion. So yeah.